Okay, till now you learned something about science, or you learned something about biology, about the living world, and you learned something about astronomy, namely how our planet fits in the larger universe, how we fit in the larger universe.
Ta thanda bado ngara ju cheri jang roas an cheri nal khari jang ro na kengu rikpa jang re an thana shi karchi rikpa yan jang roas an karchi rikpa nal nga ju se khola jamning de ani jideng hamna ta oina khol ni yu me jura khosa kho jilli yu me di korshe roas.
You also learned something about physics of our world, how light works, colors, how we perceive. Did you learn how we perceive colors?
Thana shi ani nga ju dushe kor la jang ras dinal ngo kham rikpa nal khado din ju dushe khandi ki yu me di kor khado kor jang yu es akiran jo. Yes.
So you learned what our best scientific theories at this point tell us about the world we live in.
Ta thanda bado nga ju cheri gi namsha kor she de ras jigdeng kham dinal nga ras desa da di kor she de res.
All these answers you got from science.
This sama khane gyun ragu irla na cheri gi gyun ra ras.
Today we're going to look at science from a different point of view.
Ta thari nga ju cheri la ni tadang jura tadang minro yuni cheri la dil tai res.
Up to now you got knowledge from science. Now you're going to reflect on science itself.
Thanda bado an cheri kor la jang de rasta cheri la di khande me di gal an nga ju chirda roji chi res.
So I'm a philosopher of science.
Kela khoran cha shauna cheri gi taru ma ji isra.
Philosophy is not science. Philosophy is also, but it has lots of similarities with science.
Tarub lana cheri ro lana cheri mares ina cheri da chung becha shu cha de res dini tarub da cheri ni.
Philosophy, just like science, is interested in the world we live in.
Tarub la de cheri na shi cha de la ra di khande chagu la na manju sai khola jamning jora khande sume di kor la ni shende shu res tarub na di kor ta res.
But philosophical questions are a little bit different than scientific questions. They're about fundamental things, what they are in the universe.
Ine khari urla na thyo tang tang jora dini ni thyo tang tang dikheba du res dinal thyo khar tang urla na thanang jo kingu da dinde kala shize thoni thyo khari thyo chhabi me din ju tang gi ras chi.
There are different branches of philosophy. One branch of philosophy is philosophy of science.
Tarub nal ke je sho na desen ro laura yela ro mangbu cha de res an dinal chi khari chugu urla na cheri ki tarub didi yala ro cha de res.
You do philosophy of science when you reflect and critically analyze science.
Di kol khari ta gur la na cheri gal chirda chen thana shi khari khari kunju che da ji gyora di samot chu di res dinal.
And then
Oh sorry. Yeah, go on.
And then what you do, you actually are concerned with questions that arise from that critical analysis of science.
Tatanda nga jo kunju khari me di tagi tagi dugu ra chi ship chi chi dudu gala ani di thola ani samlo mongbush tang gwe chagi res theri da je.
So the first question we have to ask ourselves, some of you can answer me. So you studied some science. Do you have any idea what differentiates science from any other enterprise or any other gain of knowledge? Because the idea of science is to gain knowledge.
Tatanda kiran zo la thiwa jik ta yo las thangbo di khalan kiran zo cheri jang e ras di la du tak thiwa khari la na cheri la na sheja le gi ta di ro cha de ras shiro di la du di cheri mai ba ya sheja len sai ne mangbu cha de ras di da kheba khari chag du cheri la du lo su khande si yo chi yes di na kheba ro thongu des kheba yo ne kheba khari dos.
Anyone?
Ani shimba kiran zo nan chikbar de sangma.
You got some idea about
Cheri la du
science,
sheja len
right?
sa chayu ra da nga
How is science different than anything else?
Cheri member shimba mangbu ni su thanda sheja len yo ra cheri la ni los lo yo che da di da shimba den zu para kheba khari du la di cheri la du los khande yo che thu dos.
How is science different from your Buddhist studies?
Thanashi kenazu nangju jangyu ras shija lingyu ra jibuji ra dida ani cheri nik para khari khebar dos cheri nala So the main difference is science, it deals with the physical world, outside world, external something physical, and in Buddhism we deal with the internal world, mind, that is mind. So that's the big difference.
Can you think about some other difference?
The diyo dulara chida ani nangisem dini para yo chik dini kheba shimbu chag dulara di member ya kheba shimba dues kyanzu sig dues.
I said science is interested in finding the truth about the world we live in. So how does it do that? What is Buddhism interested in?
The tiyo yo la seri lai di khare ngzu ngara zo zamni nal demba khari yumi di tsoya di cha de ros ani di khandes chigyo res sa seri nal an thana shi nangbe khari chigyo res nangju nala khari thunga nyongwe So she's saying the difference is science like finds the truth by experimentation and we deal with it by our own experience. So that's the difference. So when science is not able to find something like the scientists can't witness that, they just leave it. They said we don't understand this phenomena or whatever.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're just going to really see now how science works as opposite to Buddhism or art or anything else.
Ta thanda khari shingi lawana cherik di nangchu data shimba mangbu chira she rupsa di da kheba khari sugu me di korchik shigi is
religion, you know, any kind of different kind of knowledge which we think we have.
Ta sheje lensa ine la du ta nangchu lan re churi chulu shimba ine gi di chama sugu ras di da kheba khari me di tungi is.
But the first thing, as I said, why I ask you what science is, we have to make some kind of difference. What is called science, what is not called science.
Tangi thiyo kwe di chi khari chagi urla na hambo gochuk du ni cheri lana khandi jil lagyo me cheri member lana khandi jil lagyo me di yo che di chagi res.
Because we have to know what we are talking about. And the only way we can know what we are talking about, that we agree beforehand. What is that, what we are referring to when I say science, or when I say this is not science?
Tila du ngui ni nganzu khari siu yewa chi gugu urla na ta thanda khari korshe re cheri korshe ndu wala cheri lai di khandi chik lagyo me di siu ji she gugu ras che zan thangshu di khomba thangbo di khari pyo la na cheri lana khandi ji lagyo me cheri member lana khandi ji di yewa che di khejmu chagyo res.
Famous American physicist said science is what we do to keep from lying to ourselves. It's a little bit jokey, but there's lots of truth in that.
Ta thanda dinal kharshir launa cheri bakira chimbu jura khora nyara change re khora gi kharshir lana cheri lana khandi jil lagyo launa susu rang la ngara ju ju she gogo tang che jura di mak pang he jura meo swedi tede jila cheri lagyo res.
We're gonna analyze science more, so you will find out which parts of this expression is really true.
Chezata khorangi thanda chikshi sha do che sha jura di ani kho la takda digi me cherina la di she gos chila.
So philosophy asks questions like, what is science?
Tadrup lai di khari la na thiwa tangi res ra am pe sha ina thiwa thanda dina cha sha na kharsha cheri la na khari res lan di thiwa tangi dos.
That question includes lots of different questions how we reflect on science.
Ta dila du dida de thiwa mangbu shu ji chagi ra cheri na ke she du gala thanda dina tyen she res.
Like, for example, where science begin and end, which is
sorry, please go on.
which essentially tells you what parts are not science, what parts of our enterprise are not science.
Ta thanda dinal khari shigolo na cheri di gozu wala ora thoma da khawala thamare la jora di thio di tangyures dila dugala cheri member la di yawa che di kejumbu chagyo ras thanda di thio di lengyala.
What is science about?
Cheri la di khari korla shigyo res la jora cheri la na khandi jil lagyo me di che.
What is a scientific theory?
An cheri gi namsha la na khandi jil lagyo res lan.
Which means why some theories we call scientific and some other theories we say they are not scientific theories.
Chesa namsha mangbu yo ras dinal ngazo yawa che gu ras namsha di cheri gi namsha re di cheri gi namsha mare lan di chagyo ras.
So for example, when you study astronomy and planets and zodiac, we said that was doing science. You were doing science.
Tanangazo karche rupa jaim bas dinal kama da an thagana shi sada an karsum da dendu korshe ruas dinala an ngazo gi cheri nala chu ruas ti sama.
But in Western tradition, there is also astrology. Astrology tells you, depending on the position of the planets and zodiacs, how you're going to feel, what's going to happen to you.
Nangama tuzu yomba na ngazo thanda karzi tagi ruas astrology lana dinal khari chiyor lawa na ngazo gi thanda kama denzu ta sa denzu khande digi me da dilata ne ani khari chungure la jora di korshi ruas.
But we say astrology is not science.
Ngazo gi thanda di karzi la shdo di cheri mare lani chigi res cheri member chigi res.
So during these lectures, you're going to discover why astrology cannot count as science, while astronomy is science.
Ta thanda khiranjo mama judu seu chagres karchi ladi cheri member che karchi rikpa ladi cheri na chuyo ras di khaji nila res lani di seu chagres mama judu.
The other important thing is, how do we know that those theories which you studied are true? Because science presents you with it knowledge and you said, now I know. But how can you be so sure that that's true?
Tachi khari khechumbu chagyo launa khiran sugita onga di shegi yo lai ruas ina shegi yo lai di demba ime khande sa khutu res ngara zugi chik shegi yo lai jora di gora demba gu ruas.
So we also during these lectures are going to learn, why do we have reasons to believe that some theory is likely true?
Chezadang ajuri namsha khasheta didemba insha re rolani cie jora di khandis chigyor di chiwa di chagyor was.
But the other thing you're going to discover, that science is never certain that any theory is completely true.
Chik di khari chagor lana siri na namsha khandi jine di ta demba denja ruela na takta chay dendish di yo mares.
Some other questions we ask in philosophy is, what is the goal, aim of science?
An chiwa khasheta dinal khari chuyor laona siri gi mi yu khari re la jora di chagyor res.
What do we want to achieve? Do we want to find the truth? Then you realize you cannot really find the complete truth with scientific theories. So sometimes we say proximate truth. Or, it's very likely near truth, but not complete truth.
Chezada ngazu tsari nal thanda mi yu dikhalan demba chwela di demba di thendam demba roshni ashta khaku chayo ras cheza dila nyewe roshta demba rosh tendich sigyo ras.
The other thing, you all mentioned experiments, doing experiments in science.
Anchi khari chugur lawana siri nala tagje khari chigyu me jora tagje denju gi khari phen thogu me denju kechumbu khandes chagyu me dikor shigyu res.
Now you're going to reflect on some meta level. What was the role of those experiments in science?
Ta samlo da dewe tiwa di chagyu role asti siri nal tagje jora tagje di khari ta kechumbu kharjin chagyu me di khari chigyu re la jora di tiwa di chagyu res.
We'll go back to all these questions during this time. The other thing what we worry about, what is the scientific proof?
The tuaji kechumbu khari chagyorlana cherigi kunge khari yorlajura khari resladi di chagyorwas.
You already mentioned, for example, that in Buddhism, your personal reflection is good enough to tell you what is true.
Tatan nangchunal keji shoana kerang ju nyongwa di shiyorwa susurangi taji shinita susurangi nyone ni tembalana khandi jilagume susurangla di chicheba chiyorwas.
And you already noticed by yourself that in science, that is not good enough.
Chizan kerang ju cheri jandu hagu das di dange jirelana takta digim dos.
So we're going to look how scientific proof is different than other kinds of so-called proofs you can have about all sorts of things.
Cheza kunge la del susu kharisha masha loga chadura cherigi kunge la du thandangwe la shiodi takta dangi yorelana dangi yomares takta digim dos.
Then again, through the episode in the history of science, development of our theorists of astronomy, you will see how scientific knowledge advance and grow.
An kaje rikpan al kheran zo seu chaswas namsha la di khaji do dugi ani dila do en serigi namsha da serigi sheja din khali thu da nyam do dugi yarge dugi ros.
The other thing philosophy always asks, one of very difficult questions, is there a particular method which would give us scientific knowledge?
Tuaji khari chagi urla oina serigi sheja raya da dindela an nganjugi mixuga ni thablam dinde juyurela ni di she tiwa tangi ures.
If we have that method, it would be easy to discover the truth about the world.
Chazam thablam yorela oina ani that temba chue dilelo chagi ruas ngarajui.
Okay. One thing you also know, just by studying science, that there are different sciences, different disciplines in science.
That seri ladugala seri korana la mangbush chagi duas dinal yala do desendo mangbush uju ruas.
You studied physics, you studied astronomy, you studied biology, you studied about brain, some neuroscience. How do those sciences differ with respect to each other?
Serigi desen koranda lobsendo loga yewa che shado keran zu khari jangyore kengwe rikpa che ani ngokam rikpa ani karche rikpa che an thana shi lebe korla du wangza seri chagyo ras dila du seri ba dinju pha chuda loga yewa che jura koran zu para khandes kheba chi yes yewa khandes chi yes.
So for example, you did biology and you did astronomy. What is the difference between those two sciences?
The two years ra di kharlana kiranzu khari jayore kengri rigba jayore thanish karje rigba yan jayos the dini parala ni cheri ni chadora di cheri ni parala kheba kharidos.
Not different subject what they are interested in, rather how different their method is discovering the truth about their subject matter.
Ta thanda di khari kheba lana lobse ni dil kheba khari lan thiwa tangi mes khari thigur la na thanda tagji chiduga chue jura di tagji chidangi thablam jura khurani parala dini para kheba khari duslan thiwa thi us thablam di korla. Khandi karjinal khari chigire cheba. So in astronomy, these two methods are important: observation and inference.
Very good. And in biology?
Ani kengwe nangla karjinal dini soimba. Kengwe nangla. Cheju tu sangu yores karchela. So they're saying like in biology, the 6 characteristics of life define what is life. So that's important.
How does the science of biology differ from science of astronomy? What did you do in biology classes?
That seri ni dil kheba khari lara thanda da seso lana khandi jilagulan chotang masa thanda seri ni gi thablam ke shera seri ni cha deura dini desini Kurani la kheba khari yores an kingwe ribana la kheran so khari chi is ngosu tane So in biology we can bring the things in the lab and do experiment on these objects, but in astronomy we cannot do this.
Excellent. So you already discover that there are huge differences between different disciplines of science.
Tak yagu shu she sons keran sui dinda du thanda serigi disini do serigi tan lobsen do ni cha shawna Qurani na la ani tablam do geji shawna loga cha de do astini.
And those differences are with respect to the method a scientific discipline uses.
Ta serigi dizunal thanda khari kheba shi launa dini yo shi du thanda tablam jura di kheba du dos.
While observations are incredibly important in astronomy, you cannot do anything without observations. You cannot do experiments in astronomy.
Peshona karji rikpona geji shoenas tokship la di kechumbu shu chagyo ras tokship ma shoena kekuji shitwe yo mares karji rikpona takje la di chitu yo maras karji rikpona.
And in biology, you did lots of experiments.
Kengwe rikpona la keran zui takje mangbu shu ji cheim bas.
So there are sciences that differ with respect whether you can do experiment and prove something, or the only thing you have to rely is observations.
Ta thanda takje chini ma chi khungke gugor la du thanda ngara zu dina cha shawana khari irla na khari gyuni chayure tokship gyuni ni yorwasti.
The other question we ask, can some scientists be reduced to others?
Tuachik dilana thanda seri dezen gashi de an dezen shembai khongsu an du tugur reslan tuwa di chagi doas.
So to understand that question, you have to understand what reducing means.
Dila du gala ani thanda khari tuwa di kheran zui khari lagi me jora di gotsu me di chagi roas.
So when we say we are all made of atoms, for example, or particles of electrons,
ta cha shaw na ngara ju changma khari gi dup share duthen da du gi dup share lagi roas.
does that mean that every law in biology can be reduced to be the same, can be expressed in the language of laws of physics?
La du seri na la ta thanda nga ju ke je shaw na seri gi tenti mangbu jua di gyunen de she gya tu yor was.
So the idea is, if I can describe in the language of physics, which we consider fundamental science, some other scientific discipline, then I reduce that discipline to physics.
Ta seri na la nga ju ke ro se ni tentim se ra din na shin ya de seri gi de se shemba gi ke den zo ma thanda seri thanda kengwe ri thangkonda okham ri ba gi thanda ke jura dina ma due yor westland thua dang us.
That would be like saying everything is physics.
Ta dende law na changma khari re legre ngokham ri ba na chu yo di jik shi yo ras changma ngokham ri ba resland shi yo ras.
So that is a big question which philosophy also tries to answer. Can you really do that?
Ta di chi thu re la di thua chimbu shli yo ras di ani thanda ngaran sugi ta rup ma din sugi thua dende rik tang di yo res.
In some cases, it's very straightforward. In the case from chemistry to physics.
Thua ga shi ta khari khatu na shi ta ro cha di yo res pe shaw na thanda jigu ri ba ni ngokham ri ba pa do dende ro cha yo res.
But when you go upper, in hierarchy of sciences, when you go to more special sciences, it's harder and harder to see how possibly you can do that.
Ta thanda dini da due lelo ro cha de ne ya ta khorim ro sti wa na ya che tholi ra dile du gala ni khandes chitu re la de thua di chagyo resti.
This is not denying that everything is made of particles. This is just saying that the same laws which are in physics are not the same laws, or rather to say the same laws, the laws that are in biology cannot be expressed as laws of physics.
Ta pe shaw na thanda nga ju tentim yo ra kengwe ri ba na tentim de zo ngokham ri pa gi tentim na la ma du thu mare la de di chagyo ros.
Okay? So one thing you probably already got a little bit flavor of is that throughout a history, scientific theories change.
Kiranzo chik di seo chensa roas khazing jangwe kapso. Tseri gi namsha di khadu na khachi gore gyua duguyo ji kiranzo kengi roas.
The view of the world people had in Aristotelian time, in the ancient Greece, is very different from the worldview people had in Renaissance, for example, or in 19th century.
Ta thanda ngoma nangamu gi tuju jura. Dinal tawa kidan dida Angela Renaissance tuju sawashli ra sarje gaps. Digapsu tuju ta turap chugu ru chagures dini kheba roas tawaina.
Or the worldview we have today.
Thana shi tenjim thanda yo dida changma loga chade roas. Chikba maras ngama gozu ni chini.
So scientific theories change. And the question is, how can we understand that change and still think that science is the best approach to finding the truth about the world?
Dido tseri namsha di gyua dugu yorwa, thanda ya gyua dugu yore, stadi khandes dugu yore di tiwa di chagi yorwas. Ina chik khari shigo yorla wana, thanda temba tsaya jora jikden khamda susu zamlin di. Siu tsuya la temba tsuya di la, tablam yakshu di khari chadi yorla wana, tseri imba di ngara zui shigi yores.
So I mentioned several times this concept of worldview. What does it mean, worldview? Worldview are all our beliefs which we have about the world at some time.
Ta thanda jikden ta sulan chiksha doa, di kodyon do di kechumbu chagi doas. Di la do thanda nganzo gi jikden la ta suy khari yume susu gi ta tawa do jora di ko shigi yorwas.
What is important about those beliefs, set of beliefs, they are all connected, exactly like puzzle.
Di la do susu ije shiya da mala roshi oina mangbu cha do yorwas chashi roshi. Di sangma khari yorla oina nganzo konyo digi yo, di nangshi sangma dig de jo dinde chagi yorwas.
So, did you ever play with puzzles?
Thanda gonyo inde digesh da keran jo chenyung yoesa. Yes, some of them.
So, those who did, can you replace one piece by another piece easily?
Ta khashi gi chenyung yi la ro di gonyo di. Di chemu di chenyung yo ena ta dina la chashi chunju mangbu do. Chik di sab shemba cha wa ena ni dig thu roesa.
So, for example, can I take this?
Ta cha dinde ji ma tyo ena sra. Di sab la cha shemba ji di sab la sha thu roes, dig thu roes. No, we cannot.
So, if I take this piece in the middle of this puzzle and try to replace with some other piece, it will be very hard, right?
Ta dikki ni chik tyo so. Di tyo ni di sab la ya cha shemba ji khini. Dina la ja diga thapshi chyo ena khakbu shu chagi roas.
I would have to replace all these pieces around.
Ta chigi dig ma roas dig thala yo mangbu ji pigu khi roas.
But what if I just take this piece at the end of the puzzle and put some different piece in it?
Ta di tha lo yo ji do. Di nemo lo tha lo yo di chik di pi oina dig sab shemba ji sha oina chi thu roas. No, we cannot.
But imagine that it has the same edges, just a different picture on it.
Hine par shemba ji chera. Ani tha di sobda khare di dige di ibla ta ni dige ro. Tha ib di chikpa imba inasa. Yes, we can.
Yeah. And would not change much anywhere else, right?
Di jo gya na di tha din zo shemba din zo la kheba sure. Su maras jo khegu ji tang maras tha di ji bu je ras.
So, that's the way how worldview concept works.
Chiza di todang shdo di nang shi ngzu jikden ta su la jora todang tharang du res.
So each belief fits into this coherent, interconnected, consistent whole. Okay.
Ta thanda ngzu dinal chunju chashi dikhala su yije lang sha so. Ta di rere gi ani pha zu dig ni kharchi do khongbu chik chag dos.
Some of those beliefs, like those pieces on the puzzle we saw, we can easily replace with different beliefs and big picture will not change.
Thanda dinal yije lan re samchu lan re dikhar lana khashi khachi lana ngzu gi jiu gya thu dos. Tindi gya thu chag res.
But some of the beliefs, those are called peripheral.
But
some of the beliefs are central to our worldview and they cannot be replaced without changing completely the whole picture of the world. So for example, whether you in a old system where the Earth is in the center of the universe, which we call geocentric system, there are 5 planets. Actually 7 because they counted moon and the sun.
Tandang azu jigdeng khom nyima ta su di khare lawa na se khola di khoere ula te wala yores lan shi yoras dile geocentric lana tanda sashi te wala yor di shi yoras dinal azu sa geje shi na sa du yor lan shi yoras ta se khola da daga da chama su yoras ani sanga di.
If we add another planet and said no there are not 5 planets, rather there are 6 planets, not much has to change.
Dila du tandang azu sa du lan se khola chi nyima chi ani sanga di yora di du yor lo de khashi gi samchu khari tungur lawa na temba inas sa thu yor lawa na kheba shu su marwas dila.
But on the other hand, if you now replace the Earth with the sun in the center of the universe, the whole picture has to change.
Ta kesi sa duing gi sabla sa thu yor la na shiras kheba su marwas lan shirwa ta kesi thanda di thanda rimush tyen shayra dinala se khola di tewa gi sabla manju nima tewa lan shawa na kangzang jiu gyar wasdi.
So those kind of beliefs that would cause the change of all our worldview, our core beliefs. This has happened when so-called scientific revolutions happen. Usually some core beliefs are overturned.
Dile du thanda ngazu nyema imba na khari samchu khari khidyola na se khola di tewa yo di sherwas jela khari jiu gyar lana samchu khari ta chu khari jiu gyar lana nima di ula yores tewa le yorlan sherwas dile du kola cheri gi thanda samchu ro lawra da jigdeng gi ta su di chazang jiu gyaw nang shi cha yoras.
So we said we have these beliefs in our head. So tell me, what do you believe? Forget this. So just let's forget this for a second. What do you believe? Tell me any belief about anything you have.
Ta keransul chiwaji yos las thanda samsu da ta yiche ro lawra di keransul khari khari yos samsu khari yona khari thola ina degrees shena.
So you believe for example, you're now in Domaling Monastery, right? Nunnery. You believe that?
Thanda yiche yo las yiche lan samsu lan chi khari yor launa Domaling chungo na lo yo keransul yiche yo sa.
Yes. Why do you believe that?
Khaji ni yiche chi yo sa di. Because in reality we are here.
Why do you believe it that here is Domaling Monastery?
Keranzu di Domaling ani gomba reslani keranzu yiche khandis li dos.
Nunnery, sorry.
We can see that it's a Domaling nunnery.
Exactly. So written on the entrance to the monastery, you see written everywhere and so on. You have some kind of direct evidence that you are here, right?
That ani gomba Domaling ani gomba le yo la di chik kena zo thong ni la thu dus la ra thong dus kego ni zue gap so ming chimbu thisha dos an Domaling ani gomba imba thaga na shi ani kena zo ya mata du gola pangda nye sa roasta Domaling ani gomba imba di chik ke chimbu chagi roas.
But you believe much more that you can directly observe, don't you?
Ta khashi kena zo khaptu tama thu ya dinde gyuni ya she thu roas.
What else do you believe? God.
And also that we can see nuns in this nunnery, so we get to know that this is a nunnery.
Good. So this is all your direct, but as I said, you believe some things you do not see, you do not observe, and so on.
Tandangwe le she di pesun di khare thong ne ani ngazu Domaling ani gomba le yo lagi ros tam thong ma thu ayura dinde gyuni ta di an Domaling ani gomba res lan di khades la thu res. Kharil tani par so the other person will explain what's all around so that we get to know what this is.
Okay, good. So you also believe, for example, you learn in your astronomy classes that the sun is in the center of our universe, our solar system, rather than the Earth. Did you directly observe that?
The keranzo karje rikba jame kapso kharishe la na nima ditewa lan ne lan sherwas dila dugal an keranzo thegar toship chim be sa ditola Yes, we did it. Yes, we did experiment.
Did you really see it?
You really
observed the Earth?
The
planet?
No, we didn't.
Can we do guys one at a time? So we can get lots of answers and we can examine them. Good. Raise the hand.
Through the video. Through the video. She gave a model on how like sun is at the center, and we did activity on that.
Okay, but you yourself never directly observe that. You had
keransuita chego chila ra ne keransu tegar thonyore toship cheyore cheyo marwasti no.
But you had some indirect evidence.
Ine thanda tegar mewaina chigi gyuni pangda ra roas.
Right? Your teacher told you saw the movies, all sorts of things, but you did not directly observe. So we believe, sorry.
Gigengi sheo che tegana she ani longi indetani keransu she roas.
Takes practice, you know. So beliefs which we have in our heads either come from our direct evidence, what we directly observe, directly see, touch, feel, but majority of our beliefs are actually not what we directly observe.
The mancha chezang khari chagyur lawaina tanda gyugi thon tanda chigi gyuni pangda ra jura di chagyuras soso gi thegar tanda ngusum gi pangda jura dinde nyunga chade roas.
Okay. That what we directly observe is called empirical facts.
Chezang aranso ngusum gi tanda thong thuye tanda demba jura dinzuri la khari lagyur lawana ngusum dendun lagyures.
Apart from empirical facts, we also have views about the kind of world we live in.
Chigdi thanda ngaranso ita samning lawrese hol ngaranso jigden jura di khandi me didal de ni demba di chade roas.
So, for example, do you believe that in our world things just pop out of nowhere?
Keranzo di ije chi yuesa se kula ro cha shaw na ngobo den rangshin gi thwen le. Dile ta ke ku ji meni ro ke ku ji meni thwen le. No. So, there is a causation, so nothing arise on its own.
Nothing comes out of nowhere. Okay, so this is yeah, we don't believe that just things pop out of nowhere. Do we believe that things just disappear all of a sudden? Imagine like we are here in the classroom in this chair just suddenly disappears. Does that happen?
Yeah, hope to me loburgi ye dress do. And the loburgi le rukesh sa ke wache thana loburgi ye dress dinde yan yongur wes. Ye dress yure. No. Again, there should be a causation. Without any cause, it won't disappear.
I know the background, so I understand what they're saying. What I want to just say is, apart from empirical evidence, there are lots of things which we believe about the world that are part of our conceptual, philosophical picture of the world. Your idea that the world always has cause and effect is actually philosophical conceptual view.
That tanda keranzu mang ngzu khashich khari chayore dendun di tanda ngusum dendun cha de ras di nyunga che phajo di ngaransu gi tawa da tarup gi gyuni tanda samsu mangbuch dendun mangbuch dengyu ras dige kharna chugur lawan tanda keranzu shiona gyude ken yor la jura di sangma kharna chugur lawana tanda tarup gi ta su dina chugur res.
So when I want to give you a theory about the world, you expect me first to account for all empirical facts.
Ta thanda ngaransu gi thanda zambling lana rejigden dilawne digala ani keransu la ta dinduen de teoi nasra dinala keransu gi kharita irlawn thangshu di ngusub dinduen di korshi ruas.
Of course, empirical facts that are relevant for our question.
Thanda khais na ngaransu tiwa jora dida tewa cha de ruas di ngusum dinduen di.
But apart from that, you would not be satisfied if I give you a theory that it doesn't work as cause and effect theory, right? That where things are probabilistic, random, and so on.
Tanashi namsha chik ni khari shoi khari kor shoi na sradina la tanda gyuge myo dende gala shoi na dende yimba inas la ni ra si rungwe kor la mangbuji shoi na lobur ki ta dende chung res la ni mangbuji shoi na namsha dikhiran zo khabu chagi ras khele.
So just like in this case, in any case, scientific theory has to account both for empirical facts but also for the prevalent philosophical conceptual view of the kind of world people live at that time when the theory is created.
Cheza thanda dinal ta cheri gi namsha nala dini ga chudu ras chik di thanda ngusum den den jora di che an thana shi ngame thuzo ne chin thanda di changma chugu ras lo june ke shona dinal thanda ta rup gi ta su jora di changma den den ju chugu ras.
And then theory, I don't know whether I have that slide. Theories change and advance either because of empirical facts, we get new facts, or there is a big change in the conceptual view.
Ta thanda namsha juwa dugu yor la ra juwa duwa di khandis dugu yor la do chi khari la ra lu yore ngusum den de ngazo pangda sawa ndi ra dugal di juwa dugu ras thana shi thanda lo ta su la na re ta ru gi ta su jura dila juwa do ne gi yan namsha di juwa dugu ras den de juwa dugu ya gi dugu res.
And you're going to see that again exactly what we're going to do majority in this class, example from development of the theories of astronomy, how conceptual views, change in conceptual views, the same as change in new data, drove the advancement for new theories.
Tilo dita thanda ma zida gela khorangi zinda thira dinal khari kor shigir lawana karje report da de thanda lo ita chula deni ani namsha din ju juwa khande do me jura thagna shi ani thanda thangto da din lingi lingi chini ani namsha dil juwa khande do me in yargi khande do me di kor shigi is.
So I mentioned facts, right, empirical facts, and these convictions. This difference is not based on their truth values. It's not based whether they are true or false, rather what reasons, justification we have for believing them. I said at the beginning that science doesn't assume there is a final answer. There is always possibility that some new data, some contrary evidence we're gonna get that's gonna show that our theory is wrong. So for many years we believed that dinosaurs were destroyed when meteorite hit the earth. Now Bryce told me yesterday there is a new theory that's not true. So we should be always open when we do science, that some new evidence is going to show up that's going to force us to change the theory. Even when theories can account for all the evidence, everything, and nicely fit in your view, there is possibility for a theory to change. It's possibility that theories change. I mean, it's possible to get better theory. And now you ask yourself, what means better if both theories give you everything what you want?
dila du namsha lebala na khandi jil lagyo res tini do kheba khandi sugyo res lan.
So there is something what scientists thought from the beginning, that theories should be simple. The simpler theories are better theories.
That serina nyema ni dichi gyores ta suji career launa namsha lejura kagas kitab deoina digas yagares legwarilandi nyini suicide.
So if one theory is very simple and explains everything, and the other theory is very complicated, introduces new forces, new things, and explains the same thing, scientists always choose simpler theory.
Ta thanda peshawana ta namsha nyura niga ikhare deshi chikba thanda chikba res thana shi pangda rawa che ani deshi gyadang jura dila dugola chikdi gonyok bu shu yo che shuksawa daminda yo da ngobu daminda dina chu yo che namsha shimba digi tab de ngani deshi gyagi yo na theri bai khari damgur laoina namsha tab de de damgu res.
Again, you're going to see it from the example from astronomy, which we're going to talk about.
Thana ji thanda di namsha juju tanesh do tab de damgu yor ladi di en thanda karje riba ma dura digam su seu chai res.
So one thing we know about science is most reliable knowledge we can have about natural world.
Ta thanda nga zu sheja jigden kor jora rang chung kham gi jigden kor la ni su lian di ta ngara zu iden chesa cho di khari cha de la na ani seri di cha de ras di sheja di cha de ras rang chung kham lian di.
So there is a little example from science about the motion of blood.
Ta pe ro sha na seri na la ra manzo tha ya ma ku yogu che jora di kor yores.
So you all know that blood moves through your body.
Razu sama shegi ras tha dikha ji ure khadune subuna ku yotang di ras.
The question is, how does blood move through your body?
Thio di khari chagi la na tha di yogu chigu ras subuna la khandes chigu la di thio chagi res.
Do you have any idea?
Kera zu samchu yo la sti thola. Yogu khandes chigu me di. The heart helps to pump the blood.
And then what happens?
The nyingi di puda chir la ra di jela.
Heart pumps the blood, and then what happens?
Kamachigla di ranga. Mare nyingi puda chisa jela khari chigi resa. Tha di call ki de. So it goes to the brain and to the other parts of the body.
And then?
Adi jela. Again, then it goes to the lungs.
And then?
And loe jela. Again, it circulates.
Then comes back in the heart, right? It circulates.
Ta loe jela ning lalle ani rangja khorgyo chiruas.
But how can we figure that out?
Ine di khandes che tu res na jo. Khandes ha ko tu res. So we did an experiment.
That's right. You learn in anatomy that heart is pumping the blood, right? What experiment did you do for the blood circulation?
So we did an activity over there.
What did they do?
How the heart blood goes inside the heart and it creates the sound lub dub.
But what experiment did you do?
So how the heart functions.
Okay. So let me tell you something. You can do a little experiment right now that shows the blood circulates. On yourself.
We're going
to do that, right? So, one thing people knew for a long time, from ancient times actually, there are two different kinds of blood. There is a blood, there is darker, that is in this blue system here. These are, you know that is from anatomy, you learned, these are
Lugam rikpa jang yoro las dinala thanda thaksa ngumbush tongu da di khari imbe shegi yosa.
Veins, right?
Thakao. Okay, deoxygenated blood.
Yeah,
Which
there
has less
is a blood
oxygen,
in
yeah.
this. You see here in this blue thing, these are veins.
Ngumbu denzo kharla na deza lagi yoro as dezo la.
And there is also blood, red blood, which is brighter blood in our body, which goes through arteries.
Thanda thik mau thin shagyo shta thaksa di kharla na thak khara yoro as di nganzo pharza di chagi yoro as.
And from ancient time, people noticed there are two different kinds of blood in our body.
Thanda yemani tha di nangamoni di yawache shagyo shrela ra dilo nangamoni ngaran chugi thana la tha minda rigni yorla ni shegi yoro as.
And they thought there are two different systems.
The rigni yorla ra manda thana shi dini yo na mala ya ni go yoresla ni khuran chugi.
So these arterial blood, red blood, just goes back and forth to the heart.
Ta dinal ta na khardu thaksa mauji da pharza thaksa chayura di pharza di subuna do ya thana shi kholo du ningla yama do di rosti.
But while this blood in veins goes, Galen, who was an ancient physician, thought that blue blood goes in your liver back and forth.
Ta gel la di thanda quran so member ningba chagi res amji ningba quran gi khari shir la waina thanda thaksa ngumbush do deza di khol dur la waina chimba la du yo shir res.
So rather than circulating, blood goes back and forth in your veins and arteries.
Chezanta thanda dizna dusu di khari shir la waina tha di khorgyo chi de chigminda ning che ya subu chashel do ning che ndi chin pa su do de jura di shigi was.
So we have two what we call hypotheses.
Ta thanda ngajo cheba sha sha yo din de ni res.
Assumptions which we want to test.
Ta cheba chi sha yo che ngaran so choda che go ya chagi was dinzo.
How does blood circulate? One is that blood pulsates back and forth.
Ta tha khorgyo chigi la ora chik dingol shi onan tha yama dugu la jora di shigi ras cheba chi yo di.
And the other is that blood circulates.
Niwa di kharla na khorgyo rang chigi yo di shi ras
through your body. So through your body. So we have to figure out which of these those two hypotheses is true.
Tangara zo choda di khare choba sha sha gyojra di choda chigu ras di la du choba dini di khari demba resha chigu res.
One thing what you could not observe anywhere in the body is the connection between these two systems.
Chik ngara zo thong ma tu khari cha dur la ona di mala ni ra mala ni di khande tu me jora tu dang di thong yo marwas.
So in order for blood to circulate, what has to be the case?
That kesi tha di khorgyo che gugu na ani khari gugu res. Chu. Some of them are saying water, some of them are saying air, oxygen.
No, let's just start from the beginning. I said there are two systems.
Mala ni irlan sheswas.
Arterial and venous system. And blood circulates, blood pulsates within each of those two systems.
Ta thanda mala ni di khari re deza dang pharza I mala di bas dini thanda tha yama dugur lan sherwas mala chignan la choba chignan la.
If we want to say the blood circulates through the body, what has to be the case about those two systems?
Ta di mala ni yora kesi mala ni di khorgyo chigugu yorela na ra khorgyo chigugu yorla na khari gugu yores ani. Heart should be there. We need heart.
Yeah, but is it hard enough?
Heart thanda ning de chibu yona dangi yoro digi yores. No. We need lungs, liver.
We need something more about those two systems. My picture now, they're separated. They're separated completely. What do I need in order they're not separated? That the blood can go from one to another.
Tingi bet los yo roas. Dila de chigi gun into khorgyo chigugu roas. Di khandes chitu res. There should be connections.
We have to connect them.
Rolas
right?
Chigugu roas dini.
And nowhere at that time they could see any connection between those two systems.
Dini tu gugu ra. Di tuye di ani nyamani Quran sugi korshe yo mares chi.
there were no microscopes or anything to see their connection.
Kansna tuyor ledi nyema imba na thadong chishi den yo marwas cheza andi di khari tuyo me jura di kor she yo mares kunju.
So you had to, at that time, right, to postulate, to put a new hypothesis that there are little microscopic, very small tubes that you cannot even see them that connect those two systems.
Di galata cheba saji shares di khari sharla na thanda malani gi thuga chinge jura dila ani bugu thamu den yor lani ani cheba chires.
We call the theoretical entities.
Dinzola ani namsha gi chashi cha de resta.
Because these are entities, objects, right, things that our theory postulate that exist in order to explain the phenomena.
Di namsha gi chashi jura di kechumbu chagyo ras khailana ngara so inye ni namsha shagyo jura di deshe gyangi di khari cha de re thanda di cha de ras chashi di.
Of course, if you start thinking about it, we'll not talk about that right now, but if you start thinking about that, immediately you ask yourself, but why should I believe in something what is not visible in any way?
Chazata denzo thong thugu yo mara and the bugu thamu den yor la thong ma to en ngazo khande si chegu reslan thio dili roas.
So what do you think when we just postulate things that don't exist, that we don't observe, invisible, to explain things? Why should we believe in something what I cannot in any way observe?
Dila du thanda bugu thamu yor la mi gi thong thue yore yo marwa dila du sine choba sha sharwa dinra du ngazo yije kharchin chegu gu reslan thio dili gi ras yije khandes li res khandes chin chegu gu yorlan.
Better have very good reasons, right?
Dila ani khora la thanda gunje mangbu ji she res da de.
So we said we have these two hypotheses. Blood circulates or blood pulsates back and forth through the body.
Tang azu thangbo gozu du chosha ni yora cheba shagyo di. Chik di kharla na tha di yama du yoreslani. Chik di khare tha di korgyo chi yoreslan di ni roas.
So now put yourself in the old times, right? You don't have any background knowledge. And ask, which theory is better?
Ta thanda kheran ju thande shaja di khe mewa che nangamu thuzu mi ba cha shanasra. Ta thanda kheran ju dilo cheba ni sha doas. Di cheba ni di khandi namsha ni doas. Namsha ni di khandi ya ga dos.
So let's do a little experiment. This is a real experiment that was done. Find some veins on your, it's the easiest to find some vein on your hand if you have, I'm old so my veins are showing, yours probably not so well. Look it in your hand or somewhere and find a vein.
Ta kheran ju tagje chini ha gu roasti. Tagje che di kheran ju lakban na la cha thun de yo na sra de za yo. De za ches thangbo.
How does the blood in vein go?
Ta de za na yama jugu yora khandes jugu
In
yora.
which direction? Which direction?
Ani chok khandes jugu yora jugu yora khandes jugu yora ste. Khane kho jugur de za la. Ning ne
Where does it go?
Hol. Mara de za na la khande jugu yora lar. De za na jodan di.
Where does it go? This blood in veins.
De za na la tha juge jora.
Towards the heart. Right.
Ningi chola jugu yora.
Arterial blood goes out of the heart. Venous blood goes towards the heart. So look at your veins. Take your hand and close the blood flow, right? So blood supposed to go here up, right? Try to close the vein and push the blood. What's gonna, well, this might not good. Let me see here. What's gonna happen, your vein is, push the blood towards the heart and you'll see your vein is gonna collapse. You see, it's gonna become empty, right? If you close your vein, push the blood, and you're gonna just get this empty area with no blood. You open, there is blood. You push it, there is no blood. Try to do on your hand.
Kenzo sida sa deza di khare ningi chol dugu yoras parza imba ina thakza di ningne subu chashi shamba dugu yoras tanda deza dil thachi do.
You see, like here, I close this vein, I push blood.
Tambo wala nem chera 강 초지도 세우 차세요. 간데 주고 이메데.
Nothing.
디도
There it
이바이나
is.
와딜 님.
Right?
아니 강 초지도 딜 뷰스.
You see, like
뷰에나 차
I close
초중에
this
며 차고라가
vein
라와니.
and push the
딜
blood
차 메주
up.
차이레스. 먼저
And you
통문다
see there is
차리.
no blood now.
그냥
in
진짜
that
너도
vein.
튕겨
I let
돼.
it go,
디나
there is
세.
blood in the vein. So,
근데 부르부르 튕겨 요에나 온들 따지 시야가 하고다. 통문도.
you see here, I close my vein. Oh, you're young.
그러나
I
쟤네
close the
튕기다.
vein, and you see how there is no blood now in this vein. I open, there it is.
자 인데 가시
see
무수
that?
튕기죠. 더 약부인트.
Close it,
온데
no
요에나.
blood. Open, there it is. There you see how
닝초를
there is no
줘야
blood.
가셔라.
There is blood.
따차도 왔어.
So what does it tell us?
따탄다 디 따지 통세 게라지 상마. 수수 통문다 기겐 통사. 디 따지 균이 가리
Did you see
하고
it,
도사.
guys?
They said blood circulates.
How do you know now?
따차 콜교 치기열라라. 디 칸데 사고 요스탄다. 찍찍인다. Because when you block this vein, and when you push it, there is no blood in that vein.
What would be the case if the blood pulsates?
계시 타 드로이나 아니 가리 뚱규레스. 라? And the drawina, when you block it, it won't move, she say.
If the blood rather than circulates, if it pulsates, if I do that, what would have happened?
근데 치워이나 가리 중구레스. 네 지금 메워이나 단다. 거기요 지금 메워이나스. It comes back to the. It comes
That's
back
right.
from the vein.
That's right. What would have happened? I would not have this empty vein here, right? Because the blood from here above would just go down. So now you perform an experiment that shows that blood circulates through your body.
다 단다 따지 치러. 님도 차 룸은다 똥바 차서. 계시 차 야마 중에 진바이나 디카오이나 디 똥바 차기 마러스. 랑제 마 죽리라. 탁사 디 똥바 디 마러스. 다 단다 디 따지 유니 캐란소이 가리셰레. 차디 코르교 치유 세우된 로스.
We saw, right? This experiment shows that blood only flows one way through your veins.
다 단다 디치 가리시유 라우나 되제 유니 차 유에 주라. 디 초칙 랑 유구요 디 세우 차로스.
In that way, we figure out which of two hypotheses is correct hypothesis.
딜라드다 쳬바 소샤니요라 가지기. 쳬바니니 아니 가지 타주 치두라스 칸디 뎀바 레슬라니.
Right? We concluded that blood can only go one way, therefore it has to circulate. It cannot go back and pro.
디 제랑 아란조이 타돔 쇠로스 죽돔지 가리셰르 라와이나 디나라 따지 디 유니 하고사 디 카르라와나 타래 디 카두이나 카조 찌르 주구요체 딜라두가라 타디 코르교 치기요지 세우시기요로스.
But now remember what we said at the beginning before we started the experiment. Apart from these two hypotheses, blood circulates or blood pulsates. If we think blood circulates, we need a new hypothesis.
다 탄다 쇠샤니 샤요 앙웨라 다 탄다 디 규니 카리 하고 라와나 따지 치임바 디 규니 타디 야마 유구메어체 코르교 치기요 조당디 디셰로스 딜라두가라 쳬바 사와지 샤구구요로스다.
What was that hypothesis?
쳬바 디 카리 레사 쳬바 사와지 샤사 제라 카리 샤스 따지 게제 티마스타 쳬바 사와 샤요 디 카리 레스 므라 셰서.
What has to be the case in order for blood to circulate? What did we say?
므라 셰임바사 쳬바 제세. 코르교 치기요로스 코르교 치기요 라라다 켈렌사라 코르교 치기요나 카리 구구요레스. 카리 고레? Oh yeah, there should be connections.
There should be connections. And we said that the connection was invisible.
다 투가 구구요로스 투가 등아조 통마토 차디요로스.
Does our experiment give us good reason to believe in those invisible connections?
당아라주이 탄다 디 통마토에 투가 된데 요르라로 딜랑아라주 이질리로스. It's hard to believe.
Huh?
It's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe?
Yeah.
But how otherwise?
Yeah,
how would you
some of them are
explain
saying
your
yes, we do believe.
experiment?
So we knew that the blood circulates, so there should be connections.
Because we show that blood circulates. There has to be connection, right?
Ngara jungwen taje gyuni tön ruas thale di khorgyu chi yama gyugume ache khorgyu chi yo seu tön sa ruas dila dugala thuga ji gugu yo ruas.
That gives us good reason to believe in invisible things.
Dila du ta di ije khande le thu launa thongma tu ene ge taje gyuni she ruas di en nganzu ije le thu ruas.
So sometimes in science, in order to explain things, we postulate things that we cannot observe. Okay.
Serina la khashi khari yor la na nganzu cheba shadu gala thongma tu ache ine ngaran su chosha che li yor ruas.
And then we have a good reason to believe in their existence.
Chezan thande do cha sha na chi gi gyuni en ngaran su gita dinde yor la ni ani ije le thu chagi yor ruas.
Despite the fact that we cannot observe it.
The ngoy ni chul mata wana ta thonggu yo marwa ine ngaran su ije chi goedi thande taji gyuni she so as dinde chini ije li yor ruas.
So now you see that good reasons for believing a theory or believing a hypothesis are not always that you have observable evidence.
Chezanta choba shay jora dile inji mi ji thong ru wege thanda pangda gu yo ro la na di gu min doas.
So what did we learn from this episode?
Ta thanda ngaran su chungrim ji jorwa di gyuni ngaran su khari she sos.
First thing what we learned is what counts as scientific explanation.
Ta chi khari chagi la na cheri gi deshe la na khandi jil si gi me jura di
We say explanation is scientific if it's supported by some evidence.
Ta thanda cheri gi deshe la khandi jil si jo chi yor la na thanda deshe chi yo dil ngan so pangda yo na pangda gi gyab gyor chi yo na dinde la ani cheri gi deshe la gyor yes.
What was our evidence?
Ngaran su pangda khare las thanda di chi che ba di. We did experiment and blocked the veins.
Our evidence was that the vein, when we blocked it, stayed collapsed.
Manzo pangda khari urlana thanda taji shua di gyuni khari urlana deza di man nemi bas nem sa jela di gangla tha thanda gangla yosa del khachi du tha yugu mi doas thakza tongba di doas.
Then we learned that sometimes we have reasons to believe in unobservable entities.
Chik de kharlo na toshi mithu be cha jora di suyo rastina.
Then we learn also how we decide when we have two theories.
Chik de ani thanda namsha ni yo aina di thanda nyamdo mithun be dundri khandi chigu go me di chagi
Which one we should accept?
Tad namsha ni yo aina nganju gi khelen chigu ya khandi chagi res lan dili yo res tamkha di ros.
So you'll see also in our long example from astronomy, when you have two theories, they're both designed to explain the same phenomena. What we try to do think of some new observation that would be different for those two theories that would then decide which one is correct.
Ta thanda namsha ni yo achera namsha ni digi tishek thanda chigba ye yo ache ine ngaran su itta we gap su thanda tokship sawa ji gyuni ani thanda namsha ni di khandi temperature lan di chegu ros.
We said what was our observation was our collapsed vein. And in our case, right, this was a relevant observation. Why? That's observation that one theory can explain and the other cannot.
Ta thanda ni ni damkha yo ro ni ni pesu shaw na shi ni ni chik di khari lo na deyo tokship cha de ros dinal thanda kheran zo taji chini khari ren namsha ni she ro ni she ni ngaran su gi taji chue gyuni chik di khari chi lo na namsha chik de she ya tu dos chik di de she ya tu yo maras chik da ta thung yo ros di cha gi res.
So relevant observation and that observation that is explainable in one case and not in another, right?
Dila du namsha ni ndine chigla de she gya wache ani shimba dila kya ma tu adende cha gi ros.
And the other thing what we learned that we design experiment that would help us to decide between the two rival theories.
Tang shi tashi takje chagu chi ani digi ani di gyuni khari thaju che lawana thanda namshani shaira khandi demba ime di thaju chi ros taji gyuni.
So there is an old example also from physics. People really worried when they were, you said you study light, right?
Kiranzu thanda ngogam rikbana la yokor jailan she bas.
So what is light?
Yolana khandi jillagi res. Labji res re. Khashe lab re lagre. So some say it's a wave, some say it's a particle.
Good. That argument happened in the history of science. It had to be decided.
Di choba roji chade ras. Di tat thaju chigu ras. Di khadu na de de res.
And the experiment was designed exactly to decide between those two theories.
Ta khashi gi dure khashi gi labre lagi ras. Di choba di ta ma thaju chigu du gala thaju chela ani di tagji ji chagu chi res.
Can you think of something you have done, maybe in biology, but there were also invisible entities before microscopes postulated in some way?
Ta thanda ngaran sugi tokshu mithu be ngobol de pe shadu gala tagji gyuni thuga dike je sheim bas. Dina shita kiran zu thanda thadong cheshi thanda sarngi sarsu machi ngola yo. Digap so ani thanda ngobo thamu din zu khandes kiran zu di kor khandes choba chigyo res di kor shitu ser res. Maybe ngola. La. Maybe ngola. Thanda di ngobo thong ma thu ngobo din zu kor lang zu choba shara thuga din yor lani. Di do pesun ta kingu na la jar wai nas ra ya thanda di ta ngongsa ro cha de kingu ra di ya ya pesun shimba yo wes kiran zo ngazo dule ni ni me yo thungi da dule ni ni yo thamo yo le ni che thungda mi yo ke na mi yo ke na du yo ra odi ge du thamo yo ha. So kingu na lasta. So she is giving example of sun. So she said like sun gives sunlight, it produces sunlight, so since it has light we can predict that there are particles in that light.
Good. Particles, right, that are not visible.
Your was tang azu thanda nime yue di thonggu yo res ra ine nime yue di gendang la du yo aji shi yo ras khans na yo res ani kela khorang gi tawda res dul la du kala azu mi gi thonggu yo marwas.
So again you have a theory postulates invisible entities, and because of other reasons rather than observation we accept those invisible entities.
Tile do thong ma thu be ngobu rig jo ra di ngara zu inji mi ji thong gu yo maras di mai ba gyuni shimbe gyuni ra thega mai be gyuni ra di chi gi gyuni ani tanda pangda ra gyo di chane ani ngazu gi ta dige yo res lan an choba chi yo ros.
If you did a little chemistry, just tell you the little story. In 18th century, chemists noticed that elements combine always in certain proportions.
An thurap chupges nalachi kharishol ngara zu zeyu ribatis chi jang ras dinal chaje yo kuran zu kharishol na chaje rig di phinchu do chaya jora di ani che ro jo res durse ro lo di gyune ani chaje phinchu jargi re la jora thuga swe di nish ke shi res.
And no matter what they do, those proportions are always the same. You cannot combine elements however you want.
Dila do ta che jor la ra proportion na durse ro shi yora durse thega la chaje ni chagi yo na chaje thanda tigeri chibo ji kyan le na chaje thanda durse thega la ni jargi yo she res chaje mindo khile ni ya durse thega khile yo na ra chaje shimba khile na majare chaje tigi ni di durse thega la ni jargi yo ji she res.
So they revived atomistic theory that says that elements are made of atoms.
Dila do duten da de da namshaji to ros di khari sheur lana chaje rig jora chaje din jo khari du ber lan sheur lana duten gi du baji res.
So they can combine only in that way as atoms, like for example you did a water H2O. You remember when you did water H2O? So what do we have in water? What are the elements?
Ta chaje dinjo tige jora pha chu jare di durse chik rang yor la ra di cha shaw na chaje dinjo duthing dubres duthing dinjo phenju khande dio chigi midil shi yoras an cha shaw nas ngajo didul chui didul yo chui didul khari dubar shi yores H2O lagi yoras H2O la du dinala duthing khari khari yores khari dub sha yores 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom.
So you see the proportions, right? You're going to have a conglomerate water that consists of all these H2Os, and so there's going to be always equal proportion of these atoms in it.
Dila du duthen jare gi durse di khatu na chikpa chikyan re dure mendo yanglung duthen ni da solung duthen chik di chikdu gala jardu gala durse chik rang re da durse jora ni da chiklan durse thagarang la dudul ji dubaina chui dudul rubu do chui dudul khande ji taw na khari re durse thagarang gal do hydrogen ni da yanglung ni da an solung chik tinde yorwas.
So the possible explanation is that elements are made of atoms. They're atoms of particular kind.
Chazan chaze le di ani khari gi duba shigi re duthing gi duba shigi yorwas.
Some other chemists at that time didn't like that hypothesis.
Ta choba dende ji shayar la ra tanda dudul lo khandesh tu baina durse thagarang gugu yores la di ani choba chi jodi yan jeju ripo khashi ki ani khelingi yo mares.
And they said, I don't want to believe of something what is not visible.
Quran sui kharishir la na to mathu be rigjora dige rigla ani ngazu iji chigi mes iji chitu mundus la ni sheyores.
But they realized one thing, it's very useful when they were doing experiments to assume that there are atoms.
Ine dige khari khebe yor lawaina Quran su tagje chedi yora khaduna tagje chhe gapsu ta di khar duthi yorela ni Quran su choba chhe jora di ani dila phingi yores.
And they said we're going to use them when we do experiments. We just don't believe that they are real.
Ta di nganzu ije chi mes ra ngoy le yor lan yene ngaran su gi choba chela ping dus ta je chi gap su di she res kunju.
That shows two different views you can have about what science is for.
Dila du di gune kharan su le ta su ni rag dos mento ni seri lana khande chi me di.
Some people will tell you science discovers the truth about the world. Another will tell you, no, science is not interested in truth. Science is interested in what works.
Ta dinal ta su ni rag dos chik di khar launa seri lana khari zamni na khari yo de jigde na khari yo de temba soya dire lagyo ros chik di khar lana khari lega chigyo na di ani seri na chugyo la jora khari ta digyo na di ta su ni cha soas.
So I can just pretend that atoms exist. I can just pretend that whatever invisible entities exist as long as they're good in calculating predictions.
Dilo du ngaran ro cha shaw na ta tanda duthen da dinde yor thong yo mara ine dinju gi ngaran su gi da ngoba che da cheba che la phing du la ra di chama yo sha chin chi jo che ju ros.
So one has to, this is a real philosophical question. What is a right or correct view about what science does?
Dila du da kharan zo taruk da thiwa ji chagi res. Cheri la khari chigi me jora cheri na la khari chigi me khande ji me di chagi ros thiwa ji.
So you should, I will not go further with that. You should just think about it. So then later in the course of our class, that question can come back, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think? What kind of business is science in? Discovering how the world is, or just helping us to make predictions and so on? But whatever science postulates, we don't have to accept.
Thiwa de jal thama ya rangja kharan zol ta yi las thanda len gya gu yo mares dikhalan cheri lana khandi jire la jora chik dikhare temba soya jora di sangi khari chunga di chagi oras niwa di chigi gyune da dinga zo choba che da ngomba che la phing du la jora di ni ros dil do cheri gi choba la di changma ngo yi che go ya di chagi yo marwas. chosha chi yodin.
And that's always the problem with these unobservable entities.
Ta de nganzo khari chigur lawana toshi mintu be chadi chadi ras.
That are necessary in some theories to explain phenomena.
Chezanta chuni khanjirina deshi gyala khashela khari gugur lawana tanda tomitu be chadi ni chugugures.
So we said science, from our episode with Harvey's experiment, we saw that we can design experiments, create situations that will help us decide between rival theories.
Dilado ani tanda nganjogi takje denju chargo che di gyuni tanda nganjogi choba shisha yuni yora dini di ani choba hades ngomba hades chigyo mejora di yawa che le phengyo ros takje di gyuni.
And just before break, I ask you, what is light?
Soja pharsingo la khiranjul thiwa chi tang suas di khar lana yo lana khandijil lagyo res lani.
And I got two different answers, right? What is light?
And let's
agree about something. Every voice is valuable. If you can just raise your hand and say it, and as many answers as you want, because it's important to have dialogue and everybody talks at the same time, then, we don't hear every voice.
The two of them do a Samanyam do Jagdos, still a duala depchil kumara, Karilagu medi. Lane the kum dos cheza, Sangmegi some to the kitchen which have res, and a relation in das lingadu.
So, what is light?
On the two of the Ranja Mutuni in das, Yolana Handijil lagres. Lapta? Lapdo jures. So, light is a wave.
Okay. She wanted to tell.
So there are different beliefs. Some experts believe that light is a wave and some believe that it's a particle.
So that happened in history. Newton, for example, believed that light is the light is made of particles, corpuscles.
Tanda dusu minda yora kashi ngema imba nurindo chashono korangi yodi khandijil tigore khari group share lana dugi group share shigoras dugi particle.
At the same time, at Newton, there was a view that a light is a wave.
Tuju thegaran la yang kashi khari share la oina yodi labre lan share was.
So, in order to decide that question, they designed experiment that would show whether light is a wave or it's a particle.
Ta tanda yu tuju chigla kyang kashi khari kheba kashi khari shiure labrelan shigura khashigi durelan shiguras ta di taju chela ani taju chagu chiguras an taju sures.
So there are certain properties of light. For example, that when light combines crest and crest, then you get more intense light.
Ta tanda yu la khejo mindo mangbu joras chig di khari lawana yu ni duaina tanda labdo stungda thoro dugo roasti.
The other characteristic of light is, for example, that it bends on the edges when it hits the edge.
Khejochi khari chagu urlaona yodi tabe juyoji. Ta peshaona di chokje ithala tabe yoy dinish chagu urwas.
So Fresnel designed an experiment, which is a round disc of certain size, and says if we light that disc, put the light towards the disc, so there is a disc and light here, right? If you lighten the disc, actually from the other side. If you lighten the disc, light is going to bend. So if you look at the shadow of the disc, because of bending of light, in the shadow, completely dark shadow, you're going to see a bright spot in the middle. Because of the bending of the light and combining of this crest, even though you're going to get a big shadow from the disc, in the middle of the disc is going to be bright spot.
Dila dita korangi taje shire siribadi kimala dersu jisha an yo phojo digi timna jora di yo ache ani ki la khari chagir launa samo yo kugur lagyo res khuni ani ki del khari chagir launa chekdo yo sewo yo tende yodan chimbu yo tende chagir lani she res.
I know it's counterintuitive, Don't you think so?
Ditanda khakbu chagi dola samluna di shoyadi.
But it follows from a theory that the light is away.
Hine di kharida thanda nganzugi yo di labre la jora di da thumbe da nima namsha shasha yu di chagi rosteve.
And so they did experiment and they found out the bright spot right in the middle of the shadow.
Ta thimna di kilo yo di kuna ki de la ani yo dang chimbu yo chegji chagi la roas di cheo na shi tagje chidu gala nye resti.
So that's the way sometimes we decide between rival theories by coming back with the predictions that one theory would have and the other doesn't, and test those predictions.
Dila dugalta thanda choba shagyu ni yo ina ra di ni ga gelda cha de ra di ni nganzu dam gu gu dugala thanda chigi ngomba dinde ji shaylan dil pa be ni nganzu gi tagji che ras di da thungu di thungu mudulani.
Those predictions are really somehow deduced from the theory itself. If theory is correct, then it has to be correct that you're going to see the bright spot in the middle of that shadow.
Chezan jebara di namshal tani chaya ras khashe thanda dina cha shawna namsha khari share law na dinala thanda yo di khugu res khune ani thanda yodan chimbu yo chegji sugur la ju ras di ro cha de res.
Okay, so we talked about hypothesis, and we said a hypothesis is any claim that we want to test by seeing whether predictions that follow from it are true.
Choba la jora di khar chigyor law na ngazu nyel ngomba shagyo jora di takta re du re mindu la di ngaran sugi choda chegi doba jora di dani thungyu res choba la di.
And scientific hypothesis is never really proven true or false, right? Or true or correct.
Ta thana shi cheri gi choba di ani demba khaya ani khunge thaju machuwa ji chagyo ros.
So exactly like with light and any other experiment, we can find out that some theories, some hypotheses are accepted because it seems that they are right.
Ta kabre choba khashi khari lo na nganju khelen de res khajim khelen law na thanda nega bringal khelen wa chagyo res dus ta du gala demba imba nang shiura cheza ani khelen jo de chadu res.
Or they are just rejected immediately, like in the case which we saw with circulation of the blood.
Thana shi kabre khari law na thangdo de ma thu ba imba na lamsa khe mali ni ma pi she jura dende chagyo res di peju kharil jar chog law na nyela ngajo tha khorgyo chigyo re na pha yama gyugo le jo tha khorgyo chidan de peju draw chagyo ros.
So sometimes seems in science what is definite is the rejection of hypothesis. What is not definite is acceptance of the hypothesis.
Ta ta yi mi le jura di kharil rali ur lo na ma so so khe meleng yo shagyo jura denzo definite lana takta roji chadu ros di khe malin pi she ros khashi khe lengyo di ani thanda definite takta mengyo tende roji chadu ros.
Theory, on the other hand, is a collection of hypotheses. They all work together to explain a large class of phenomena, and they generate new hypotheses, as we saw as a theory that the light is wave, or the theory the blood circulates, and so on.
Ta thanda namshala na khandi ji lagyo law na thanda choba shasha jo mangbu jora nyam do duni ani thanda ngajugi choni khandi jil deshi gegyo na dige ri la khar lagyo law na namshala lagyo res peju shaw na ngwe la ngajo yedi khugu yer la ni dersu tu taji chi sa di ji chugyo res thana shi tha khorgyo che peju sha so deju chugyo res.
So you'll see when we discuss in the class that the theory really has lots of hypotheses.
Ta thanda ngajo tinda ma ma du kheran ju seo chagres namshala na ra dinala thanda choba mangbu du sha dinde ji ba hagu res.
Some of those hypotheses will be confirmed, and some of those hypotheses we would just accept, but they maybe eventually could be also tested.
Ta choba mangbu ji sha ra dine ne ani khashi khari law na ta ji gyuni ni gi res ra ta da imba khashi khari law na ngaran su khele ni sha sha chi anjelo choda chi ya imba chi dinde ri cha de res khashi.
The important thing you have to remember that almost for any observations you can have many different theories.
Chi khari chagu law na kheran so tokship khagas chungwa imba na dila ani dila pa be ani namsha mindo mangbuji yong si ruas.
And our task is to find which one is the best or most likely to be true.
Ta choba mangbu sha yora dige nani ngaran su ilega di lenge di khari cha yor la wena namsha dige ni khandi dembare la di choya di cha ruas.
But now we're going to have tea and then we're going to continue.
Ta di mutu ni thanda soja pharsing thuje sim son sa di jela indas.